Yikes! There's no money in heaven. Yep, that's true, I think. Well, that was the title of an article that I found that I wrote well over 15 years ago. One of the exercises that I have been going through, as I pointed out to a number of you, is that I'm going through tons, it seems like that, but scads of stuff that I have written, published, programs, radio scripts that I have done in my 25, almost 30 years as a business performance coach and as my work as a broadcast international missionary. And I've got a lot of stuff that was never formally published, but it's a part of the stack of stuff that I have. And this goes back to something that I wrote in 2004. There is no money in heaven, and you know what? It's just as relevant as it is. When I first wrote it, maybe more so. Recently, I put out an appeal to a number of people who are now part of the Christian Entrepreneur Network, and I simply made the point that we could use your donations, contributions, your support. We'd like to call it sponsorship because we want to make it something that we can both benefit from. And then, of course, we're hoping that as that allows us to gain momentum and to expand our list of services, that we will truly be one of the most unique non-profit groups in the world, in that we not only are non-profit and we seek to help other people, but we don't just go on charity and contributions. What we seek to do is through the services and the business advice and counsel and coaching that we give, that we will actually raise what we need to support our work through the business services that we provide to entrepreneurs, master entrepreneurs like you, all over the world. A number of years ago, for some reason, I can't remember, I found an old book. It was something in a used bookstore, or it might have even been something that, I found in a Goodwill or something like that. And it was called The Soul's Sincere Desire. And of course, that title caught my attention, The Soul's Sincere Desire. Opened it up and found out that it was a book that had been written in 1925 by a gentleman named Glenn Clark, who had been many years ago a professor and an athletic coach, a golf instructor at McAllister College in St. Paul, Minnesota, just right by where I was living at that time. And so I picked the book up, and truly, as I said yesterday, people should read fewer books. They should only read great books. The Soul's Sincere Desire is truly a great book. It's probably about maybe 70, 80 pages, and it's a small 70 to 80 pages, but it struck me deeply. And just even the title, The Soul's Sincere Desire, and what Dr. Clark is saying is that that's where the power is. When we figure out what the soul's sincere desire is and seek to make that a part of the way we live and do business, even the way we would play golf, he would say, other things seem to fall in place very nicely. And in chapter 2, he wrote something that struck me, and you could almost feel and see and experience the twinkle in his eye when he told a little story called There Is No Money in Heaven. And this struck me again because after I had written my, hey, could you help me out? Somebody said, well, are you praying for money? And my answer was, no, I'm not. And here's a little bit of the reason. Here was the story he told. It turns out that some time ago, a man was going through some real difficulties, as we all are, and he needed some cash. I remember one time in one of my prayers in church, I just simply said, and Lord, some of us could use a little extra cash right now. Well, that's true. We were just kind of blunt about it. But I learned that that might not have been a very good idea based on the story. So the man prayed for money, and the prayer went up into heaven, and the person in charge of receiving the prayers and passing them on to the people in heaven who would take care of that kind of work got the message. This man wants money. And then he said, "What's that? What's money?" He asked around, and nobody seemed to know. And so he said, "Well, let's find out. This is heaven. Obviously, we have everything available to us. Let's go." And so a search went out, and people in the great universe of heaven, the angels, the archangels, the saints, the spirits of God, and they were looking for money. And they couldn't find any. And so the answer came back, "Well, we looked for money, and we don't have any money in heaven. So you'll just have to tell the man that we can't send him any because we don't have any." Well, of course, I think you're beginning to get the humor of it. Now, in particular, what he was saying is, if we want to ask God for money, that's probably not a very good idea, because he doesn't have any. So, as I went on to say, so if money is what we ask for, we may not receive it. But what if instead we requested some things from the Almighty, like good character, lots of good ideas, wisdom, the opportunity to create value, the ability to serve others well, the ability to give exceptional service to others? What if we ask for the strength to work hard and the courage to take risks? What if we ask for wisdom, insight, and truth, and strength? What if we ask for God's special wisdom, insight, strength, and direction? Now, just maybe that's what we should pray for. You see, there's no money in heaven. However, what would happen if we honestly sought these gifts, these special abilities, these opportunities, and the wisdom to use them effectively? Just maybe we might earn, we might find, we might discover, we might be surprised that we might get more money. But there's no money in heaven, and perhaps that's the meaning of the story. So I was deeply moved to remember that I should be careful about what I ask for, and to always ask for the right things. You're right, there is no money in heaven. Pray for something else. I'm Stan Houston. This Tuesday night, this has been just an evening for 10 minutes of clarity, and I'd be grateful if you'd share with me some of your thoughts. And we would appreciate if you could help us in some way if we have shared wisdom, insight, and truth with you. Yikes! There's no money in heaven, but you know what? That's okay. I'm Stan Houston. You can reach out to me. We can help you in life and business and in coaching and marketing and doing just exactly what I'm doing right now. We will be helping many of you be on the worldwide radio to bring your message, your service, your grace, your good things to people all around the world. Because that's something God can give you. He's got lots of grace, wisdom, and mercy, and He'd be happy if you'd pass it on. RadioEdge77@gmail.com, RadioEdge77@gmail.com. This is you, the Master Entrepreneur. Until next time, best and blessings, and bye for now.